Wait, if you want settings that'll make your gameplay look like this. No way that didn't stick him. Oh, big nade! No! Oh my god. How did I win that, bro? Didn't look no further. Oh, Mirage, chill. Oh, Jesus. Did that Mirage just sock me in the face? My god. Anyways, what's up, guys? I know you guys have been wanting this for a minute. My settings. I got a lot of comments. I've seen them. You guys saw at the start. Jesus. But it's okay. Today, I'm going to give you guys the Mirage movement guy settings. Not the #1 Mirage for kills. Sometimes people say that. No, I'm at 30k. I'm pretty sure #1 has like 200, maybe 300,000 at this point. That boy's so busy. The GOAT. But yeah, today, it's going to be a quick, easy video. I'm just going to go over my settings and show you guys what's up. But yeah, let's just get started without further ado. I mean, why not? Let's hop into it. Settings. We'll start with gameplay. At the very top, interact prompt style. Always go compact, personally, unless you're new to the game, because all it does is just show less on the screen. Because look, you come over here, and you're looking at a little shotgun bolt. You see it's really easy, less clutter. You throw this on default. Look how big and bulky that is. Imagine you land, there's 2 people around you. This whole thing takes up half your screen. 90% of the time, unless you're new to the game, you want compact for sure. Next up, button hints. This one is complete preference. You'll see under my tactical and under my ult, you'll tell me it's the button hint, you know what it says. And if you turn it off, it's basically just a little cleaner. If you already know what buttons you press for everything, you don't really need it, you know. But if you want to show off, like if you're recording gameplay that you're on MK or you're on controller, you can keep it on. I switch between the two a lot. You'll notice I changed my settings a lot, which is why I was like kind of holding off on making a video of my settings, but because I haven't changed my settings in a minute, I've been really liking what I have, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just keep what I have. But yeah, button hints preference, but I keep them on a lot because I like showing off that I'm on MK. All right, next one, crosshair damage feedback. This one is very like 50-50 split for a lot of people. With it off, I personally like having it off because look at this. You're shooting things, you see there's no like red X hit marker showing up when you're just shooting. It's clean, you know, no visual clutter showing up. But then you can throw it on X with shield icon, and you'll see the X show up. Now if I turn on the dummies real quick, where these little dummies at, and you shoot these guys, you see the red shield pop up too with the shield icon. Now that can be kind of nice, but I mean you already see the color of the number, so it's not a necessity. And you can also do a simple X, and it shows the hit marker. But me personally, I feel like with it off, the X is a bit bulky. I like the cleansiness of it, you know? Especially if you're in a shotgun fight, all you see is the numbers. Because visual clutter is a big thing in FPS game, especially for MK players, because you have to see what you're shooting at. So that's why I kind of like it off. Damage numbers, again, preference. If you have it off, I mean, if it looks like you're getting no regs, you know what I mean? 90% of the time, I feel like most people, they just have it on stacking, because you can just do a spray, and then boom, you did 117 damage. Because if you have it on floating, you gotta do quick math in your head. You're like, I hit that guy for 13, I hit him for 70. You know, Jesus, no, not for me, not for me. Unless you're like a genius, my bad. And then you got both. Best of both worlds. You'll see the number stack up and little numbers above them head. But I think stacking is just the best by far. We got ping opacity. Basically, faded is just better. With default, you see it's a little more bulkier, but I mean, faded, because you still see the ping, but it's not as big. It's 90% of the settings are just reducing as much visual clutter as you can. Obituaries, you want this on. This is basically the kill cam in the top right. You'll kill someone, or the kill feed, sorry, top right. You'll kill someone and it'll show up. You want obituaries on easily. We don't even have to go over that. Minimap rotation, I keep it on because it's like COD. It just rotates in the top left when you're running around. You can't see it in here. I prefer that because I came from COD, you know, it just makes sense to me. Weapon auto cycle on empty. This is preference. I keep it off because I kind of know when to cycle weapons, and sometimes I don't want to trade weapons if I'm in a fight. I want to just holster my weapon. Let's say like my gun runs out and then it instantly swaps to this one and I was trying to holster. I feel like that would mess me up, so I just keep that off. Always sprint. Now this is actually a kind of important setting, especially for movement, and you know, there is a lot of people that would know this, but you're newish to the game. I think you want this off because with always sprint on, I'm just pressing W and you see I'm just always sprinting like it says. Now let's say you want to sneak up on a team, you know, you can't walk unless you walk sideways, you know, that's the way to get around it. But the biggest reason you don't want it on, let's say you're in a shotgun fight, you shoot, but then you press W and then it does that. You have to wait for the animation so you can shoot again. But when you have it off, always sprint off, you can be in a fight and you can shoot and you can just keep shooting because the animation doesn't show up of the sprint. It can really mess you up with shotguns specifically, because if you just start sprinting when you're shooting, that can mess you up. But if you can just walk and just keep shooting, It's nice. I like it. I like that. And then you got sprint control. This is preference. A lot of the settings are also preference. Please don't take it 100% from my word. And then we got sprint control. This is preference. Press or hold. Again, 90% of settings in video games are always kind of up to you. There is a few things that you should just know that are better though. Like for example, you should just know to, there's some ones coming up that you'll want to keep off or want to keep on. But a lot of things, it's just kind of whatever you think looks better to you. That's just kind of how settings are in games, you know? The creativity of it. Auto run, I just keep it off. Jetpack control, I don't play Valkyrie, so I'm not going to give you an answer for this. This one's important. Incoming damage feedback. If you have it on 3D, if you get shot from the side, a big bulky flashy thing will show up. If you have it on 2D, you get shot, it's not as big and bulky, you know, it's less visual clutter, like I've said 700 times. That's the key takeaway from this video. Get rid of visual clutter. You'll see what's going on and be able to know what's going on in fights way more. You want this on 2D because you're still able to tell where you're getting shot at from, but when you have it on 3D, it's really gigantic, and if you're getting shot at a lot from 2 angles, you kind of can't even tell what's going on sometimes. It's so right on your screen. Trust me, 2D. Taking damage. Please turn this off. Jeez, if you have this on, let's say, okay, you're getting shot at. You go for the third party. You go for the armor swap. You open the box. One stray bullet from Mount Rushmore hits you for 3 damage. It closes the death box, and then you got to do the animation of opening again, and you don't get the swap, and you die, and you break your monitor. No, don't do that. Guys, trust. Hear me out. Hear me out. Turn it on, okay? Off. Wait, no. Turn it off. Thank you. Yeah, taking damage, you want this off 100% of the time, always. Off-screen portraits, preference. I like it on because I like seeing when the enemy, my teammate, it's like a Bangalore or someone on my side. I like seeing who it is. But if you don't really care for that, you can turn it off. Hop up, pop up, bars. Keep it on because, I mean, why not? I like seeing what I have. Streamer mode. Are you a streamer? Okay. Anonymous mode. I actually have recently been keeping this on because I stream a lot on Twitch. Check me out. Shameless promotion. But I do get stream sniped sometimes, so I like having this on so they can't tell, oh, he just killed someone in the kill feed. I'm gonna run over there. Although 90% of the time you see an anonymous Mirage. Who else plays Mirage? Maybe you watching this video. Usage sharing, I don't care. I keep it off. Performance display, this shows your FPS and ping top right and packet loss. I like having that on so I know if like my game's dying, you know, so I keep that on. Also preference. Communication filter, up to you. Reticle, I have a custom reticle that you can only do on PC, so to console people watching, I'm sorry, you have to have Steam. And my reticle, you'll see it's full black, and I actually really like it because on certain guns, like the Volt for example, it's invisible. It's kind of insane. And then you pick up a 1:2 scope. It's not a 1:2, it's just a little dot. The black dot, you'll see it in all my videos if you've been watching. I really like. And basically, all you gotta do is you play Apex on PC. You have to have Steam. And then you go to your Steam launch options. And I'm gonna put this in the description. So just go down below. And you copy paste the reticle thing into the description. And then you'll get a black reticle. And I think it's super nice for certain guns. But although sometimes, like the 301 for example, I will say, it kind of griefs me. Because I can't see. But I guess if you just keep them in between, like it doesn't matter too much. But I do like the black dot. It's really clean. It's slick. I like it. I like it. Up to you. Laser sight, doesn't matter. I just have it on default. It's red. Colorblind mode. Now, this setting, it's also, a lot of people are like 50-50 torn on it. Off, it's nice, clean. But if you like a little vibrancy in your life, you can go try Denopia. Because it makes it a little more like, you see how it's like brighter and then the flesh is like pink. The game overall, like everything looks a little brighter. And I do... Mirage? Shut. God, I'm trying to talk and Mirage just interrupted me. My bad. It's okay. I love Mirage. I forgive him. But yeah, you see everything looks a lot brighter. It's kind of clean. And when you shoot, it's different colors. I always swap between these two a lot. I won't give a definitive one. Which one's better? It's up to you. Whatever colors you think looks better for your game. Whatever you think makes it easier for you to see. Go for it. And then the other ones, you got how do you say that? What? Protenopia. There we go. I don't really like this one. I don't know. It's really dark, and it makes, like, the red armor, like, a strange color. I feel like it's hard for me to see attachments with this one. And Deuteranopia, I know someone, Zero, a pro player, uses this, but I don't like it either because you'll see when you're running, the purple's kind of hard to tell. And then when you shoot red armor, it's, like, a weird color. So I don't really like it. For me, it's between Tritanopia regular, and I usually go off. Subtitles, please don't use this unless you're hard of hearing, obviously. There's kind of no point. All right, well, that's all the gameplay settings. Let's get into the ImDSU settings. If you're here on controller, I don't play controller, but hear me out. 4:3 linear. My sensitivity, I used to change a lot, but I've been on this a lot. I think it's like a perfect middle ground. I do 0.7, and my DPI, my mouse, is 1600. I like it a lot. Again, sensitivity is preference. Please do not copy ASU or Fade Sense and be like, I'm gonna play like him. Sensitivity is completely up to you, whatever you like. This is just what I run. 1.7 feels nice. I can still be fast and do movements and 360s and flicks, but then I can also slow down and have smooth aim up close. And I found 0.7 with 1600 DPI to be that middle ground. But remember, sensitivity is preference. ADS mouse sense, I do do 1.0, this is up to you. 100% up to you, whatever you think. In my opinion, mouse acceleration just isn't it, but that's just what I think. Plant mouse cursor to game window. I keep this on because sometimes I'd open a box and then you see my little mouse cursor, it'd go to my second monitor, I'd click and my game would tab out. Made me sad, so I keep that on. Lightning effects, I don't know what this does because my keyboards don't, but if you have cool keyboards, up to you. Let's get into the movement settings. The most important one right here, move forward, W, but then you scroll up. I'm sure everyone that watches this video, they know what movement is and they know what tap strafing is. The only way to tap strafe is you have to bound this to either scroll down or scroll whatever. You have to bind move forward to one of your scrolls because when you scroll, you can do 180 tap strafes, you know, and it's like tap strafes are everything in movement. If you want to get better at movement on MK, obviously you can't do it on controller, but you can still do cool stuff on controller. If you're on controller, don't feel left out. Tap strafing is everything. It's just being able to tap strafe into my walls is how I do these random wall bounces all the time. Tap strafing around corners into a wall. It's just everyone knows what a tap strafe is at this point in the game. You want that bound, obviously. All these are normal, sprint with shift, and then jump. You want scroll wheel down for jumping if you're on MK, because you can infinitely chain bunny hops and bunny hop and lurch, and I'm sure you guys know what all of that is. And if you want to wall bounce, it makes wall bounces easier, because when you go into a wall and spam spacebar, you have to like time it, and it's a little awkward. But if you just scroll into it, you'll hit it 100% of the time. That's why like you want scroll, because it basically spams the input. So scroll to jump all the time if you want movement. It's scroll wheel is your best friend, trust me. Crouch, I use hold to crouch, not toggle, because it's better for movement things and timings. Trust if you're using toggle but you want to get into movement, trust me, try to get used to hold. It'll make everything so much easier for you. It'll be a lot more fluid. The reason for that is you can hold it down and you'll be able to bunny hop and lurch and all these things. Just trust me on this. If you need a more in-depth guide, I think there is other movement guides out there, and you can see why a hold to crouch is better. Tactical cues, these are all like normal. Alternate interact, I don't use that. Inventory is tab, map is im. I used, so something weird that a lot of people are actually surprised, I use toggle aim. So I click and hands free, and it's still ADSs. I prefer this. It's 100% preference. Like, no matter what, I'm a toggle aimer. I don't know. It's always felt nice to me because I just have to click once and then I don't have to put pressure on my mouse. And I've noticed with guns like the Wingman especially, my aim feels smoother with it because I just click once to ADS and then I can smoothly just track without putting pressure down on my mouse. But again, this is preference. If you want to try it out for yourself, go ahead. Toggle aim, honestly, I think it's underrated. My melee is C. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. You know, melee, it's whatever's comfortable for you. Then you want whatever you, if any of you right now are an MK and you use cycle weapons with with your scroll wheels, please do not. Change your cycle weapons to any keys. I use 1 and 2. They're easy. Holster for 3. Grenade F. It's just things that are easy to reach. But if you are still swapping weapons with scroll wheel, please stop. Please. Trust me. You will get so much better. You just got to get used to it. Just trust me. My heat shield, I make this H, and then this one is kind of important for Mirage players. Where is it? Character utility action, because you throw out a decoy. I actually recently swapped to X, and it's so much easier to press. So I'd be controlling the decoys a lot more now. And it's just really nice for that, because a lot of times I would the way I would use my decoys is if you watch my Mirage movement guide, you will see I use my decoys to make footstep audio a lot, so I never looked into controlling it. So I didn't really want it on a key too close to me, but there is some funny stuff you can do if you just have them controlled at all times too. Inspect weapon in, that's how I do the spin and twirly thing all the time when I'm running. And a lot of people don't know this, but when you want to spam inspect, you got to make sure you're holding down your sprint button, and you can't have auto sprint on if you want to spam inspect. Emote T, I don't think, I guess it's kind of important now for your perks. T is easy to press, so I can just instantly do that in the middle of a fight. And I think that's pretty much everything that's important. And then I ping with middle mouse button, so I just press down and ping. But yeah, that's about everything. Controller settings. No, okay, guys. 4:3 linear. Hear me out, okay? Video settings, also insanely preference. Obviously, you want full screen, and then this is up to you. You can either go native or stretch res. I'm going to not swap to it for the sake of the video, but you guys probably know the difference. I prefer native. I don't know. It's cleaner, and I think it looks better on YouTube vids. Brightness, don't go too bright and don't go too low. You want to find like a nice middle ground. Anywhere from like 60 to 70, I think is nice. I do 65. FOV, now you might be asking, why is it at 108? I don't know, really. It's anything above 100, I think is good. If you're lower than 100 for FOV, stop. Don't. I know Shiv FPS is a beast, but you don't want lower than 100. You can do so much more. You want 100 plus minimum. Most people play on max, and I guess I went 200 because I wanted to be quirky and different. Who knows? FOV ability scaling, you actually want to keep this off because when you have it enabled, maybe it'll feel cool, but let's say you're on Octane and you have this enabled. You might be only a Mirage player for watching this, but look how like big your screen gets. If you're trying to aim with this, it's probably like your FOV changes so much. I always keep it off, and you'll see it like when you stim, your FOV stays the same. Definitely a lot nicer. View shake minimal, just so you're not, when you're running, it's not bobbing around. Minimal is just obviously it makes sense. It's not like a headache. 90% of you want it on a minimal. VSync, a lot of this I think is dependent on your PC, but I think VSync sucks in games, so disable it. NVIDIA Reflex, dependent on your PC. For a lot of these settings will 100% depend how good your machine is. I have it on enabled. Some people do boost, some people do off. And then everything else I have on none, low. This setting right here is I change sometimes because very low to you'll see the textures are there. But if you put it to off, you'll get these little Play-Doh cheese textures. And some people kind of like it because it's like better for the game performance. But I've been doing 2, so my YouTube vids and like the gameplay looks cleaner to me. So that one is just up to you. Audio settings. Preference. I don't know what headset you have. I don't know what earbuds you use, but I will say a big tip: don't make your audio too loud, because let's say you get shot at, you might jump a little bit if it's insanely loud in your ears. You want to make sure it's a good balance where you can hear footsteps, but you're not blowing your poor eardrums out. And another one down here, I keep the music off. I don't care. I play my own music. Dialogue volume, you want this on, but don't make it too high. You want it in the range of like 10 to 15. That way you can still tell quips, like if your teammate's like, we're getting third party, get down! You know, it's nice for that. But you don't want it too loud, you don't want it too quiet. So like 10 to 20, that's a good range. Sound effects, again, preference. A lot of these are preference. But that's pretty much all of my gameplay settings. Nothing else I really do too specifically. If you guys like my NVIDIA control panel, if you're going to ask about that, my digital vibrance is set to like 70, but then most of the settings are pretty default on there. But yeah, those are kind of all of the regular Apex Legends settings for me from the #1 movement Mirage. Hope you guys enjoyed the video because you guys have been wanting it for a while. And yeah. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys, but catch you later. Peace.